Yo, welcome back. Right, let's do melee combat. This might be a bit of a long one, or just a bit longer, because melee is kind of finicky. Essentially, what we're going to do is a bullet that doesn't move. That's what melee combat is. Create a bullet, and if the enemy's there, he hits it. If the enemy's not there, you make it disappear. And that's basically melee. But making the whole thing work and work properly and in a way that it looks good and feels good, it can be a bit finicky. So let's just hop right into it and let's make our character punch stuff. And then after this, we don't really have all that much else to do with the character, so we can finally move on. And this is good game design. Start your game, make your systems, make a little playground, have fun with it, and then you start building the game once you have all the stuff in place. Because if you don't know what your character can do, how can you build your game? How can you build your levels? Why make 50 levels when your character can't do anything, right? Anyways, let's do melee. So to do melee, we need to punch stuff. So we're gonna create an object with Piscal. There we go. I was having a hard time seeing my mouse there. Create a sprite. And let's call this one. Let's call this one punch. There we go. Punch. Because we're going to punch stuff with our squares. Hey, we're going to hit him square in the face. Badoonch. All right, create with Piscal. No more bad jokes. Let's grab our paint bucket. And let's make our punch white. Oh, God. My eyes. Flashbang. Now, let's change the sizing. Oh, it's 64 by 64 already. Huh. How do I want to do this? Okay. So let's take the resize away. And let's this is fine. Let's create there in the center and let's make it 64 by 64. This is good. Now let's change this to 96. Press enter. There we go. We got a 64 by 64 block with the 96 by 96 sprite. And we don't need to press new here because we're making a new sprite. It's not a duplicate, so just press save. And we have our punch. And now we're gonna hit apply. And that's essentially our bullet. So now let's go to our events. Let's grab one of these empty ones. Let's close health. Let's close energy. Where do we want to put this one? Player? Yeah, because we're punching stuff, right? Yeah, shooting bullets. And underneath, let's put punching stuff. Let's just call this punching. Right. So let's do this one from scratch. Let's not copy paste anything. So we're going to add an event. And we're going to put it underneath. Now, in case you forgot this whole thing, let's do a refresh. That's why I'm doing it all from scratch, which is a bad idea because I think this one's going to be a long one. Right. Key pressed. So when we press a key, we're going to hit the enemy, right? So key pressed. When the key is pressed, which key? Well, we're using D to shoot. So let's use F for punching because it's right next to D. So when the D key is pressed, and we're going to add a trigger once because we only want to punch stuff when we when we punch the button. When we hit the button. When we push the button, we punch once. So trigger once. Just like the bullet. Press OK. So when we push F, trigger once, we are gonna... Wait, what am I looking at? Oh, this is the energy pickup. Let's close this. Uh, wait, I put it there. Oh God, sorry, I was putting it in the wrong one. In case this is your first video, I am legally blind. That's my excuse. I don't mean that as a joke. I mean quite literally, I am legally blind. My eyes are really, really, really bad. Anyways, so when the F key is pressed, trigger once, create object, create the object, and the object is going to be punch. Now, where do we create this? So last time we created this on the player X and Y. So player dot X, open and close, parenthesis, and player dot Y, open and close, open and close. There we go. On the base layer. Press OK. Let's try this out. So this is the same thing we did for the bullet. So we create the bullet like that, like this, and then we give it a force, right? Now with a punch, we press it, and it looks weird, right? It's on top of our character. I mean, I'm not even talking about like not shooting or disappearing. I mean, that's not a punch, right? You don't punch yourself because this looks like you're hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Why are you hitting yourself? It seems like we're punching ourselves. So when we press the punch button, sorry, when we press the punch button, look at that. The punch is on top of the character. So where do we want this punch to go? We want it to go in front of the character, right? And this is where measures and knowing that every block is 96 by 96, because from the very start, we started making our game around these measures, right? Each block is 96 by 96. So if you want to make the block appear in front of the character, we go to punching, create the object. On the X, we remember adding stuff makes it appear on the right. Subtracting makes it appear on the left. So we're going to add 96. So we're going to add a full square in front of the character. Press enter. And now, when I press F, shebang, right in front of the character. Now we have an issue. When we turn around and I press F, it shows up on his butt. That is not good. So let's copy, actually, first let's add a condition and let's check whether or not the character is flipped. So flipped. Oh, God. Flip. Oh, my. Flip. There we go. Horizontally flipped. Player. And let's invert. So if he's not horizontally flipped, meaning if he's facing the right direction or the right side, then he's going to punch on the right. Now we're going to copy paste this event. I'm going to click flipped. I'm going to press J to take away the reverse. So now it's if he is flipped. And if he is horizontally flipped or facing the left side of the screen, then we're going to create our punch at minus 96. And press. Okay, so if we're facing this direction, press F. Cool. If we turn around, press F. Cool, right? But now it's just sitting there. How do we make it be deleted? Well, let's give it an animation. we could do this with a timer. We can do like, oh, after a certain amount of time has passed, you do the thing. But sorry, that's not what we want. Uh, this way, I think this way it might be better because we're already doing stuff with animations, and this way we can do something else that involves frames, and I'm going to show you in just a second. But anyways, let's duplicate the selection. Actually, no. So we can actually see the thing showing up and disappearing. We're going to do the same as the hit animation. So let's do edit with Piskel. And we're going to add one. We're going to duplicate. So here in the corner, in this thing, the little leaflets or whatever you call this, sheets, this means to copy or duplicate. So let's click this one and we duplicate the thing. If you click the bin, you delete. This one is for duplicating. Right? So we duplicate that one. And let's give it a different color. Let's make it blue. Like that. And grab the paint bucket. Because our character's blue, right? And we have this whole energy theme going on. And I just like blue. And now we're going to duplicate this one. And we're going to make it even darker. Like that. And we're going to paint bucket. Just like that. Look at the animation. That looks cool, right? We press and like it punches for a second. And actually, let's duplicate the very first one. Yeah, see? So now it goes like white for one more frame, and then it changes color. And instead of overwrite, let's click new. And then let's click save. So now we have this animation, right? It was really simple, right? Doing gradient stuff is so easy. And it looks so cool. Learn how to do this stuff. Don't be afraid to do your own things, your own animations. They're not that hard. Right? So now we don't want to loop. Actually, we do want. Let's loop. Let's preview to see how fast this is. And sorry if you have epilepsy. Let's make this smaller. And it's a bit too slow. So let's raise this value. Or actually, let's lower it. I think that's okay. That is fine. Click OK. And the reason we have this looped is because if you preview without having looped, it goes once and then stops. And then you need to click repeat for it to go again. So with it looped, it's nicer to see like how fast it's going. So now we take the loop away. This is important. Press apply. Let's go to our scene. Let's add an event. Add a condition. And let's do animation. Animation is finished. So animation finished. Object punch. And click OK. Not animation, like object. So if the animation of punch is finished, we delete the punch. So delete object. Which object? Punch. Press OK. And now let's try it. So if I press F, cool, right? Look at that. Pow, 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 pow. Hey, it looks so cool. Like if we're moving, like and it's disappearing, look at that. Pow 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 pow. I mean, we can you can do this as a sword or whatever it is you want. But right now, it's cool like this. You go like pow 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 pow, pow pow. When you create stuff like that, you just have fun with it. You do it like a million times. Like you don't. Anyways, so we gotta make it do damage to the enemies. How do we make it do damage to said enemies? Well, we're gonna add one more condition. Also, do we have anything that's specific to hitting enemies? No, right? We just have the shooting bullets, and this is where we're checking for the damage, right? Yeah, it is. So let's do the same for the punching. It's good to be consistent and to have things structured the same everywhere, because then it becomes easier and easier for you to find things. And as you like, because you're not always working in the same project. So if I go back to my Little Night project now, because I haven't worked in like for a day and a half, I still know where everything is because I keep everything structured the same. Um, right. So now we're gonna add another event, add condition, and now, oh sorry, and now we're gonna check for the frame. So each one of those images that we just made for the punch, right? There's 4 images, one with each color. Each one of them is a frame or a frame of the animation. So we're going to type in frame and we're going to check for the current frame of the object punch. Punch. There we go. And if the frame is equal or greater or equal, and animations or frames or all of this stuff starts at 0, right? The first animation, the first frame isn't number 1. The first animation is 0. The first frame is 0. Everything starts at 0. So the first one is number 0. So if it's this equal or greater than 0, so if it's on the first frame, and now we're going to duplicate this. So we're going to copy paste. And we're going to check if the frame is less or equal, raise, less or equal to 1. Change it to 0. There we go, to 1. So basically what we're saying is that if the frame is either 0 or 1, it will do something, right? So if it's on the first 2 frames, when it's white, it'll do something. If it's not, it will not do something. So if the frame is either 0 or 1, and if punch is in collision with the object enemy, like that. No, sorry, it's the other way around. Sorry. If the object punch, there you go. The object punch is in sorry, I tapped one too many times. Is in collision with enemy, just like that. Press OK. So if the frame is either 0, 1, and if the punch is in collision with the enemy, trigger once. And where is it? There we go. We're gonna subtract Wait, we're gonna change the object number variable. Object enemy variable health subtract value 1. So when we're punching him, we're going to subtract 1. And just like we did for the bullet, we're going to animation by name, animation object enemy. Going to set to hurt. So when we punch the enemy, it's going to go into hurt mode. Oh, actually, we don't need the trigger once. Do we? Did we do... Let me just quickly check. Did we just do it for ourselves, the hit recover, or did we do it for the enemies? Enemies. Uh, do. No, we didn't do it. No, this is just the AI. Is it under bullet? Yeah, shooting. Uh. Oh yeah, if bullet isn't. No, we didn't do it. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. We can do this later. For now, we just use trigger once. You'll be fine. Right? Because we need to worry about when we punch an enemy. Because a frame isn't just a split second. A frame lasts for a couple moments, right? And for as long as it's in contact, it would be like constantly doing damage. And we only want it to damage once. And there's a few other ways to go about this, better ways than using trigger once. But for now, to keep this a bit smaller, let's just use trigger once. And later on, we're going to change it with the same way we did for our player character. With the hit recovery time, we're going to do the same thing for the enemies later. Right now, this is fine. This works. So let's test it out. It just has a bit of an issue if there's like multiple enemies on top of each other. Then that's when it doesn't like work properly. So come here, fight me. And bang, look, bang, bang. And we killed him. Let's fight this guy. So come here. 1, 2, 3. See, we can punch stuff now. Whee! You're like, okay, but why is your punch not following you? That doesn't look good. Okay. Well, we need to fix that in a different video, right? We can make it so that the punch follows you around. But for now, this is good enough, right? Remind me if I forget. But for now, this works. We punch enemies. How cool is that? Let's do it one more time, because when you get stuff like this working, you always want to have fun with it. So that is basically melee combat. It's just a bullet that just shows up and then disappears. So bang, bang, bang. Okay, one more thing. Let's try to squeeze this one in. Let's do the bouncing thing. Where is it? Bouncing spring. Bouncing an enemy. Oh man, where did I put it? Is it taking damage? Yes, it is. All right, let's copy one of these. So this is the thing that makes the bouncing hit animation. Like when the enemies hit us, we bounce back. So let's copy this, put it there, and let's do. So we don't need this. The player falling. Let's get rid of that. And let's do if punch is in collision with enemies. Okay, this one already works. And if the X position of punch is greater, no, is less or equal to enemy's center X. So there's the enemy, and if X is less, meaning if it's on the left, we're going to add a force to enemy, permanent force, of plus 600, because we need to send him towards the right. Right? There you go. And plus goes right, minus goes left on the x-axis, and 0 on the y. Then we're going to wait 0.15, and we're going to stamp enemy. Now, let's copy paste. And let's do the exact same thing. But now it's, if it's greater than enemy center. So if punch is here, and if the enemy is greater. No. Wait, I'm buggering this up. If the X position of punch is greater than the enemy. Oh, so if the X, if punch is here and the enemy is here, we need to send them flying backwards. Okay, no, we're doing this right. Add the enemy a force of minus 600. I was doing this right. So this one is if punch is here and the X position is less or equal to enemies, meaning enemies is on the right side of him, we send the enemies flying towards the right with a plus value. If it's less, meaning if it's greater, meaning if he's on the right of the enemy's on the left, we send him flying towards the left. There you go. That was a lot of words, Mr. Man. Move on. Show us the example. Let's press F. Here he comes. Let's punch him. And bang. Oh my god, he went flying. That's kind of fun. It doesn't work that way because our character has the platformer, which gives it physics, right? It makes him come down, but the the enemies don't have that. So the enemies just go flying off. so dumb. Let's try 200 and minus 200. That was so funny though. Oh god, the autocomplete. Okay, click away. Let's try this. Oh god. I wasn't expecting that. And it just went flying. Okay, now it looks more like a punch. And it's a bit finicky, I think. Let's go. Oh, let's jump right here. And bang, bang. I don't know. It's a little bit finicky. Oh, because you know why? Because we're not checking for the frame, right? So we need to check for the frame. If it's the very first frame, then it does the knockback. So we can just do this. Copy paste this. Or we could just add this to that and it would work. But for now, let's just do it like this. Do it like this. So now it should only be the first frame. There you go. So now it works a bit better. It's still finicky. We still need to like work on a knockback. It is fun though. It is a bit finicky, but it works. It's cool, right? And we can just punch as many times as we want, which is not good, right? We need to give it a cooldown so that you can only punch a certain amount of times. Or maybe we make a knockback that doesn't do damage or something like that. Anyways, that's going to be for another time. Right now, we can punch stuff in the face and we can even push them back. And next episode, we're going to start doing more cool stuff. We're going to start developing our level, all that cool jazz. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I hope you liked the melee combat one. And we're done for combat. Now it's just work on the level and then we juice it up and then we're done. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. And again, if you liked, leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz. Catch you guys next one. Peace out.